So hello guys, I guess we will start with the overview of the incidents, the case overview that happened in Pasir Gudang, Johor. So in March 2019, Pasir Gudang, Johor experienced a serious chemical pollution incident that affected schools and nearby communities. Toxic waste was illegally dumped into Sungai Kim Kim, releasing dangerous chemical fumes into the air. As a result, thousands of students, teachers and residents suffer from breathing difficulties, nausea, vomiting and eye irritation. Over 100 schools were forced to close temporarily, disrupting education and daily life. This incident gained nationwide attention and raised a major concern about industrial waste management, environmental safety and also the public health protection in Malaysia. That's it from me.
In March 2019, the Kim Kim River in Johor, Malaysia, became the site of a major environmental and public health disaster. This incident was not an accident. It was the result of human action with devastating consequences. This was a clear case of illegal dumping. Hazardous waste that should have been treated at licensed waste management facilities was instead discarded directly into the environment. Legal procedures for scheduled industrial waste were completely ignored. So, this dumping was carried out by the parties linked to industrial activities. Toxic waste was released under the bridge using a tanker lorry. The chemicals released produced harmful and volatile fumes, and direct exposure to air and water caused immediate health risks to the community. The problem didn't stop there. Improper handling and disposal made everything worse. Chemicals were discharged directly into the river without any processing, and later, inexperienced contractors worsened the situation during cleanup effort.
One of the major causes was long-standing pollution and weak enforcement. The Kim Kim River had been exposed to illegal waste disposal and industrial influence for many years. Because of this repeated pollution, the river became extremely vulnerable to toxic incidents. On top of that, environmental regulations were not strictly enforced. Industrial sites in Pasir Gudang were poorly monitored, which allowed irresponsible waste disposal to continue. Over time, pollutants grew up, increasing the risk of a serious incident like this one. Another important cause was the proximity to populated areas. The dumping site was located very close to a residential neighborhood and schools. As a result, when the chemical reacted with the river water, toxic gases were released and spread quickly through the surrounding area. This meant that a large number of people were affected in a very short time, both through the air and the contaminated environment.
Okay, now we are moving to the consequences. Here we list 4 consequences of the Pasir Gudang chemical pollution incident. Okay, for the first one is we have the health consequences. Thousands of people, especially school students and teachers, experience symptoms such as breathing difficulties, vomiting, dizziness, headache, eyes irritation, and nausea. And next is we have physiological and social effects. Many residents experience fear, stress, and trauma, especially parents worried about their children's safety.
The 2019 Pasir Gudang crisis was a massive wake-up call that began with the illegal dumping of toxic waste into the Sungai Kim Kim, eventually causing the unprecedented closure of the all 111 schools in the district. This was not just a temporary disruption. 1,000 of students suffer from the severe respiratory distress and fainting, with some experience long-term neurological symptoms and lasting psychological trauma from the toxic flow. Environmentally, the river became a biological dead zone requiring a multi-million ringgit to clean up of the over 2,400 ton hazardous soil and water. The disaster didn't just destroy the local ecosystem and the livelihood of the fishermen. It fundamentally changed the Malaysian law, leading to much harsh penalty for environmental crime to ensure the industrial negligence never happen again.
Next, let's discuss the corrective action taken against the incidents. Pasir Gudang chemical pollution incident in Johor. Investigation and cleanup of contamination. Removal of chemical waste and contamination soil from Sungai Kim Kim, and by joint effort of local agencies to stop further spread of toxic substance. Chemical waste was pumped out and barriers were deployed to prevent downstream contamination This action is done to eliminate the source of toxic chemicals and prevent further contamination of Sungai Kim Kim air and surrounding residential areas. Next, we will talk about the enforcement action against responsible parties. Burger factory owner were charged in court for dumping toxic waste into Sungai Kim Kim, facing imprisonment and fine under environmental law. Fine against polluting companies such as P-Tech Resources were increased with higher penalties for air pollution violation. Stop work order and operation halted at factory found to potentially cause pollution until compliant with regulation. That's all.
Pasir Gudang chemical pollution incident in 2019 taught us several important lessons. First, illegal dumping of chemical waste can seriously harm public health, so strict enforcement of environmental laws is necessary. Next, early detection system and fast emergency response are important to reduce exposure and panic of the public. Proper training and equipment are needed for cleanup teams handling hazardous chemicals. Clear public communications and safety plans are also crucial, especially for schools and also workplace. Long-term health monitoring and support should be provided to the affected communities so we can help them to recover fully.